By more fans than any other Hearts game the capital has ever seen. And for those people who bought their tickets expecting that Hearts might be on the end of heavy defeat today, certainly Thursday night showed us, Scott, that you can't take anything for granted. Dundee United so close to springing a major surprise, and Hearts will fancy their chances of being able to match Barcelona in some departments as well. Yeah, I think for the majority of the match, Barcelona were in cruise control, but to give Dundee United lots of credit, they worked very hard in the game and they created plenty of opportunities of their own. It's a wider pitch here at Murrayfield. Do you think that that's going to make a difference? Is that going to be in Barcelona's favour? Well, judging by watching the United match, Barcelona like to spread the ball about, and we all know that anyway, but they'll try as best they can just to play passes and work their way through Hearts, but I'm pretty sure the Hearts will be up for it and they'll be very well organised. Stephen Frail will have looked at exactly how Craig Levein set up, and I think with playing Tal in front of the defence, that will help them in a defensive area. Well, Hearts include new signing Michael Stewart back in the side for the first time since 2005, and also Lithuanian trialist Audrius Kianevicius. Christoph Berra is suspended for the Edinburgh derby next week, but he does get a chance to start today in a side that you'd expect to be pretty similar to that will face Hibs in 9 days' time. Aguiar, Bednar and Pania among those missing out through injury. Yeah, Hearts will play 4-1, 4-1. Having watched Barcelona against Dundee United, it'll be vital that Zaliukas and Berra are in constant communication with their fullbacks. It'll be in the channels between those players that the Catalans will try to exploit them. Stewart, Tal and Kingston will need to retain possession, as well as Kerr and Gomez did for Craig Levein's side, and of course try to muster some positive football of their own. And up front is the lone figure of Lichka, so if the chances come, being clinical is the name of the game. Barcelona, for their part, are unchanged from the side that started against Dundee United. There's still no chance to see Ronaldinho and Henry playing together. Instead, it's Samieto that leads the line. Yaya Toure continues in central midfield after an impressive Barcelona debut against Dundee United, while another former Arsenal man, Silvinho, starts at left back. Yeah, Rijkaard will set up 4-3-3, and at the back, Oliguer and Thuram will definitely not be rushed. It will be a slow, patient build-up as they feed their full-backs and midfield players with crisp little passes. The central area is where the pace rises a notch or two. Iniesta and Xavi will mix up their movement, I think, and their service to the three front men, Ronaldinho, Eto'o and Esquerra. Well, they'll spread themselves right across the width of the field, and it's here that the tempo reaches fever pitch. Don't blink or you'll miss it. Frank Rijkaard in good form leading up to this game. He's enjoyed the Scottish tour, and as Rob mentioned earlier, there's already plenty of speculation that Barcelona will come back to Scotland as part of their pre-season preparations next year. Rijkaard, a manager that fits the club, one of only 5 men to win the European Cup as a player and manager. Well, the latest Lithuanian import gets a big chance to impress. Audrius Kianevicius played in the Champions League for Kaunas on Tuesday. They're eliminated to miss out on a tie with Rangers next week. So the 30-year-old left winger is now in Edinburgh to try and earn a contract. Stevie Frail says that he's a very orthodox left winger. Well, as Stevie Frail will still be here, remains to be seen. That contract still not on the table for him, as we understand. Gianluca Zambrotta, a World Cup winner, is the man that faces Kianevicius, one of 3 World Cup winners in the starting lineup this afternoon. But there's no doubt who the man is that this record crowd have come to see. Ronaldinho, who hopes that today will bring him his first ever goal against Scottish opposition. Well, Barcelona's Scottish tour got off to a winning start, but it could have been such a different story. Today they're in the Hearts firing line, who hope that their final pre-season hurdle brings them the most famous of victories. It is the game that they have been waiting for in Edinburgh ever since it was announced. Best part of 60,000 in the crowd here at the home of Scottish rugby. Hearts able to make sure that they get a morale-boosting result rather than coming to Murrayfield and just having a good try. I think that's the thing, Jim, because Craig Levein will have definitely taken a lot of positives out of the Dundee United-Barcelona game for his players and for his team going towards the new season. I'm sure Stephen Frail
and the management team at Hearts will want exactly the same thing.
Here's Olivier. And now Ronaldinho for the ball over the top. It's not a bad one either. Gordon thought better about coming out. Sandy Isqueiro in possession. Zambrotta making his first sortie forward. And Hearts losing possession as well as regaining it. And welcome back to Hearts for Michael Stewart. Eto'o. Oh, it's happened to just hammer the ball away towards Velička. And that's a foul by him on Olivier.
Well, you can already see, although Ronaldinho does sit out on the left-hand side for the majority, he comes in so often, and when he comes in, he has to be picked up because he can pick out passes so well.
Tal standing firm against Xavi. There's a first chance for Kijanovicius to impress. Now Lilian Thuram, 130 times a French international.
As I said, Ian, you can see that Barcelona from the back will definitely just not be rushed. They'll be patient. They're so comfortable in the ball. It's when they get into this area in midfield that they start to look to quicken the pace slightly. And they'll just try and move Hearts around and look for openings.
Silvinho. Michaela wins it back. Stewart. Didn't quite heed the cry of man on in time. And Touré can find his compatriot Lilian Thuram. Ronaldinho. Eto'o dropping off. Find a little bit of space which was closed down by Larry Kingston that time. Velička dropping deep to get it back for Kijanovicius. Certainly shouldn't be lacking in match fitness, having played a summer in the Lithuanian League and in Europe, and it's a good return ball to him as well. The challenge was a legitimate one. Silvinho coming in and winning the ball. Eto'o trying to get round the back of Marius Zaliukas, and the first corner goes to Barcelona.
Yeah, it was great play from Kijanovicius. He drives in from the left-hand side. It's going to be so important for Hearts this season if he does sign on. It's a great tackle in the end, though. But already, it is end-to-end stuff. Only 4 minutes gone. A wee chance up there for Hearts, and now Barcelona have the chance of a corner.
Fired in. Ronaldinho able to pick it up after the initial touch from Touré. Good save from Gordon. And somehow Isqueiro can't follow up. A few more pounds on Craig Gordon's value.
Well, it just seemed to take ages for anyone to get out in front of Ronaldinho. It was almost a goal, scrambling it away.
No problems from that second corner, although must have taken a touch off Christophe Berra. He wasn't convinced, but it will be a third corner in quick succession. Outswinger from Xavi. So Lucas heads it behind for corner number 4.
It's pretty untypical the way the Barcelona are trying to attack this. There's not that much movement in the box, just one or two.
It's providing some this time with a near post run. Back in from Xavi. Isqueiro. Craig Gordon had plenty of time to judge the shot from Olivier.
Well, Hearts are certainly under the cosh a little bit. It's because Barcelona are able to get so many players into the box. Olivier on the end of that one.
Michaela. Certainly looked lively in the early stages, Andrius Velička.
Yeah, it's going to be important that someone gets up next to Velička and gives him some sort of support. Barry Robson tried to do that for Noel Hunt the other night there. And you will need Kingston and Stewart up there in a little bit of support, especially having Tal back there in a defensive midfield position.
Better. Good play from Kisanevicius. And wins a free kick from Santi Esquero.
Well, Jim, he's not the biggest, but he looks to have a good touch, very good movement, a low centre of gravity, all difficult things to play against.
Had a spell in Latvian football as well with Skonda Riga, and he's got more than 200 league games for Kaunas behind him, so plenty of experience. Kisanevicius, and at 30, still capable of some lung-busting runs, and he's in possession again. He's seen plenty of ball in the early stages. Tal. Now Lee Wallace pushing forward. And Zambrotta bought the free kick.
Yeah, he did, but I think it's very important that when Wallace gets himself up there in the wide area, just outside the box, he's got to deliver it. There were plenty of players in the box for Hearts.
Thuram, who supplied a couple of lovely long balls for Thierry Henry on Thursday evening. It's clear that they retained a great understanding from their time together with the French national side. Oleguer. Torre. Iniesta, who had a wonderful first 45 minutes in Dundee. Xavi. Oleguer. Peterson can get it away for Michaela. Tal. Made the run forward. Silvinho guides it back for Victor Valdez.
Well, Jim, I know it's early stages, but I do like the balance in there for Hearts with Tal sitting in front of the defence, and that allows Kingston and Stewart to get on the ball and make passes, and that's what they enjoy doing. They don't want to do too much closing down, but give them the ball and they can play.
Santi Esquero with the run. Eto. Had options arriving, but Lucas made sure that he couldn't find them. Iniesta. Xavi. Solid first 10 minutes from Hearts. Plenty of excitement in these parts about the prospect of that central midfield partnership between Michael Stewart and Larry Kingston.
Yeah, you can see why. As I said, they both like to get on the ball. I think the big thing for Hearts in the coming season is going to be a bit of consistency, because, well, for me, I think it was Aberdeen's consistency and Hearts' lack of it that cost them that third place last season. We certainly know if they can be more consistent, they do have the players. I think that third place is certainly not out of reach for them next time round. They have managed that balance in the centre of defence with Zaliukas and Berra, and of course Craig Gordon behind them. For how long we don't know, but that's certainly solid back there.
Oliger. Ronaldinho. Fantastic weight on the ball for Sandy Esquero. Brings it onto his left foot, but doesn't provide the kind of finish with which he got so many goals early in his career.
Well, that's going to be the problem. Back in the midfield area, it's a bit more low tempo. But then when you get a pass like that, that opens the whole thing up. Esquero, be right on the end of it. I think that's where the Hearts players in midfield will have to really watch. I'm pretty sure that Rijkaard will want to have Ronaldinho dropping back into midfield role and taking control.
Silvinho. Xavi. Eto'o, lovely turn, but good challenge by Zaliukas. Tao very quick to offload the pass to get Hearts going again.
Yeah, isn't it amazing, Jim? You just see that there's two different cultures out there. Hearts get on the ball in this area and they just play passes. As soon as Hearts win it, they try and break forward very, very quickly, sometimes at the cost of possession.
Nevicius caught by Zambrotta that time. This is Esquero. Lee Wallace denied him a way through. Toure. Iniesta, Ronaldinho. Hand it over the top towards Esquero. Xavi's effort, headed over the bar by Eto'o.
Again, it's Eto'o that gets on the end of it in the end, but to allow Ronaldinho so much space just outside the box to pick out a pass, they get a little bit of luck, and you expect Eto'o to do a lot better from there. Okay, the ball is up high. I just fancy him to try and get over the ball a little bit more. Anything to the right or left of Craig Gordon is going to be in.
Stewart. To him from Wallace. Kingston. Risked a heavy first touch. And the offside flag is up from Zaliukas' one ball boom forward. Stevie Frail bellowing instructions at the forward two. Lichka and Michaela, who has been doing everything he can to push forward and support.
And Stevie Frail's worried about his side being a little bit too far up the park, and that's the space in behind he's thinking about there, and the pace of Eto'o.
Iniesta with a wonderful ball for Esquero. Just went out of play. It's all about the build-up for the Edinburgh Derby, of course, a week on Monday, and that's the first of 4 Hearts games that you can see exclusively live only on Setanta Sports early in the season in the Clydesdale Bank Premier League. The Edinburgh Derby followed the following weekend by the trip to Pataudry. Motherwell away. And Hibs away also coming up live on Setanta Sports in the early weeks of the season. Olivier. Thuram. Eto'o. Peter's got enough on the back header to find Craig Gordon. And Michaela, not too much in the way of support. Kusanevicius did his best to arrive in time. Lucas driving it straight into his teammate Michael Stewart. Zambrotta, who joined Barcelona as part of Juventus' fire sale this time last year after their demotion from Serie A. Now Thuram. Xavi. And the referee will play go after the first kick from Stewart, but it will now be a free kick to Barcelona.
Well, it's all about delivery. It's a great area to get a free kick in. You'd imagine that Touré will be a target. The sheer physique in there, and Zambrotta at the back post.
Silvinho, who will take charge with the angle, favouring a left-footed delivery. And Ronaldinho got too many dreadlocks on it.
Yeah, he's got caught a little bit ahead of the ball. It's a difficult one to try and flick and just graze towards the goal, but he got too much on it. I think it's quite evident nowadays, if you watch the Dundee United match, if your team are organised and they're fit, then they can compete with anyone. And so far, Hearts have been just that. Pretty organised at the back, taking no chances. And they're right and about Barcelona, and they'll need to be for the full 90 minutes, as United found to their cost. Having said that, Bayer Robson did score what I felt was a definitely good goal.
Veliska trying to do likewise. Talon made his way forward, and having given a little bit of space, now it's Barcelona who have some freedom in midfield. Put out by Karapidis. Berra just got rid of the ball in time. There's Kusanevicius. Tal. Esquerra. Torre. Xavi. Esquerra. Zambrotta eager to go forward on the overlap, and the referee has given a penalty just inside the penalty area. And Barcelona, as they did on Thursday, had the chance to break the deadlock from the spot.
Well, you could see it coming. As soon as Zambrotta gets inside, Kusanevicius. Let's see it again. To pass in, is there contact? Well, I think Zambrotta makes a lot of that one. He does get his legs in between the Hearts player, but there's very little contact. And that's the problem. If you allow an attacking player inside you, it can cost.
Well, he's never scored against Scottish opposition. And Ronaldinho breaks that statistic by giving Barcelona the lead, sending Craig Gordon the wrong way.
Oh, you could just feel it, he was never missing that. He gives Craig Gordon absolutely no chance. A little bit of ducking and diving on the way up, but he sends Craig Gordon the wrong way. It's a lovely penalty, totally in control.
50 goals in 88 games in the last 2 seasons, and this, the incident that has given him this penalty.
Well, you can see Zambrotta looking for it. It's a good ball in by Esquero. And we know that Zambrotta does do that. It's one of his favourite runs.
And this is Velička that's brought down. And Hearts' best set-piece opportunity of the game so far after the foul from Oleguer.
Yeah, again, I don't think there's too much in that. But I'm pretty sure that Hearts will try to capitalise and get themselves right back in this game very quickly. Jim, it has to be good delivery from Kingston. I've noticed 1 or 2 passes already going astray from him. Let's see if he can deliver this right into the area between the goalkeeper and the defence.
Well, an intruder on the pitch has just brought about a brief hiatus before the game gets back underway. And still, no security on the pitch, despite the fact that he's right next to the 2-time World Player of the Year. It has to be said that despite the unwelcome intrusion, there's never any sense that that was going to end maliciously. Play resumes with this Kingston free kick. Chance for Michaela! 1-1! Barcelona's lead lasting only 3 minutes, and it's Michaela with the equalising goal.
Well, that's a great finish. He takes it very well. In a crowded area, his first touch is good. His second even better. It's a decent ball in, more towards the back stick. It comes back in, first touch great, second, look at that, fantastic. First touch with his left foot, second touch the outside the right foot, bang. No chance for the goalkeeper, and a great comeback from Hearts. They show real intent here, but for a striker that didn't play too often last season, it's a great start for him this time round.
Well, he made his name with a hat-trick on his debut against Alloa. And it has to be said, slightly different calibre of opposition here for him to get past today. The summer that's been spent in Swiss football with Thun. It's worked well. 1-1 the scoreline. Here's Eto'o. Sami Eto'o getting through. Ronaldinho waited at the back post. Eto'o went alone. Kisnevicius eventually able to clear his lines for a throw. His goal tying it up at 1-1, just 3 minutes between the 2 goals. Good play by Kisnevicius, and the trialist really has caught the eye in the opening 25 minutes, despite the fact he's given away the penalty.
Yeah, he has looked very good, very comfortable on the ball, and he likes to come inside off the left-hand side, which gives Velička and also Kingston and Stewart something to work towards. There's a nice wee nutmeg there. Cheeky. Iniesta finding a way through to find Eto'o.
tangle with Christophe Berra, but no sign that was going to be given as a penalty.
Well, you know what a timely tackle that was. Eto'o fancied the penalty just because, as you see here, Berra gets the ball and just catches Eto'o's left foot. His left foot, I think, for me, it's got to be a penalty. But Hearts are still in it. I don't know what it is, if it's the amount of fans here today, if it's the opposition, or if it's an extra couple of days training from Barcelona, but they certainly look, for me, with all respect to Dundee United, a little bit sharper.
Karapidis, and the free kick from Sami Eto'o. Wallace thought a little bit short, but he made a bad ball, seemed like a good one. Kisnevicius trying to work the angle for the cross. Zambrotta stumbled. Referee has a look. No penalty though.
No, I think an Oscar would have been better for that one.
Silvinho. Nice turn by Xavi. And Marcus Stewart trying to make life difficult for him. It's Touré. Zambrotta. Still Zambrotta. No promise for Craig Gore.
Yeah, it was good play from Zambrotta, coming in off that right-hand side. Not scared to have a go with his left foot either.
Ronaldinho got the ball around the back of Karapidis. Eto'o. Xavi. Worked it onto his right foot, but Berra was in the way. Kingston. Good run by Velička, but Silvinho tracked it.
Now that was a good run, Jim, and he'll need to do that. Being up front on his own, he's got to try and stretch them somehow.
Velička could do was present the ball to a light blue shirt. Characteristically ragged passage of play. Here's Tar. And again, the game is having to just stop for a moment because of an unwelcome intruder. Security slightly quicker at dealing with that one. Here's Kingston. His brother, of course, has just signed for Birmingham City, the goalkeeper.
This is a command post announcement. For all stewards, all lower deck stewards,
Silvinho. Ronaldinho getting away from Kingston. And Makela. Silvinho. Away by Wallace. Wallace again. Ronaldinho, who have the ability to play a very direct game when the situation calls for it.
Yeah, especially when you have someone with the pace of Eto'o up ahead of you, but give Craig Gordon his due there. He did read that well. He was out very quickly.
That's goal scorer Makela, back to Karapidis. Zaliukas. Ronaldinho with the foot in, but he's given away the free kick. Trying to take it from the wrong place.
Well, for all the young fans out there that are looking at the quality on show today, there's plenty of that, but if you want an industrious, clever midfield player, then Xavi, he's the one for me. He's been fantastic so far. He's also very good against Dundee United. He gets on the ball, he makes the passes, he keeps Barcelona ticking in there, and that does allow players like Ronaldinho to strut his stuff. Very intelligent football player.
Here's Xavi in possession now. Toure. Iniesta. Ronaldinho. Eto'o. Ronaldinho's continued his run forward. 3 white shirts around him, but he's still come away with the ball. And what a shame from Sami Eto'o. It was a wonderful Barcelona move. Ronaldinho inevitably at the heart of it.
Yeah, it's just typical Ronaldinho, just gliding past players. It's a touch here, it's a give and go. He gets on it, it's great control, but I think he just over-elaborates a little bit. As soon as the ball comes back to him, he could hit it. You see, he takes it here, outside of his foot, and goes again. Gets the return pass off Eto'o, and if he hits it there, he's got a chance. But then it's gone.
Another free kick to Hearts as Karapidis goes down again. Scored his first Hearts goal recently, Christos Karapidis, in the pre-season tour of Austria. Kingston lost a lot of Velichka, who rescued that well.
Yeah, you can hear Stephen Frail shouting there, hold the ball up. He's looking for Makela, try and hold it in, and allow his midfield players up to support.
Nice turn by Stewart, a great ball forward as well! Keith Evans just couldn't find the finish.
Oh, this is lovely football from Michael Stewart. Nice turn, good vision, he gets his head up. Should be finishing it. Kizanis Chevikus, he should be in there, getting that over the top of the goalkeeper. A little flick, he just poked at it, slightly rushed, no real composure. A great chance nonetheless for Hearts.
His goal-scoring record's not bad in Lithuania. Best part of 50 goals in just over 200 league games for Kaunas. Here's Ronaldinho, whose goal-scoring record's even better. Menacing whenever they push forward.
That was fantastic play from Lee Wallace. From left back, tucking right in there. Very important tackle.
Mosquero. Eto'o. There's a rarity. Complete miss-hit from a Barcelona striker.
Well, that makes us all feel good. Even the best can get it wrong.
Here's Ronaldinho. Eto'o. Only brought down by Berra, but back to his feet quickly. Good defending from Wallace again, shoulder to shoulder with Esquero. Velička just keeping Thuram honest. Zambrotta. And Esquero, I think, was quite expecting that ball back. Well, plenty of talent on the bench for the second half. Deco and certain Mr. Henry both waiting to come on as well.
Yep, well, all these big name players with loads of ability. So I mentioned Xavi earlier on, you need players that are going to knit things together. But what really surprises me with the Barcelona side is that not just good in technique and passing and movement, but they're very, very strong.
Another example of that with Xavi making his way through. Karapetis just back in time at the expense of another corner.
That's a lovely ball. They can open you up so easily, just one slide rule pass, and there it is. Eto'o almost on the end of it.
Taking short for Ronaldinho, the corner, who saw that inviting gap at the near post, but was some way away from hitting it.
There's a wee smirk on his face. He saw that gap.
$85 goals in 175 games for Barcelona. Velička waiting for the long delivery from Craig Gordon. And the flick on came from Kingston. There was a push in there, I think by Toure, which has given Hearts the free kick. And one they've squandered.
Of course, that is also the problem when you do have Henry and Deco coming on. Already have Ronaldinho, and you've got Eto'o and Gudjohnsen and Messi, of course. How do you fit all these players into the one side? And of course, that is Frank Rijkaard's problem. I wouldn't like it, but he's got it.
It is an unenviable task that he faces. Gudjohnsen not in Scotland because of a knee problem that he sustained at the end of last season, so he's back receiving a little bit of treatment on that, and no Lionel Messi either because he's been on international duty. Nevertheless, still an embarrassment of riches here, and more to come.
And I am looking forward to seeing Deco and Henry in the second half, but I'm also, hopefully we'll see Giovanni and Kirkic again, an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old who played against United, and tell you what, some prospect for the future those two are.
Silvinho on the overlap, Ronaldinho making his way forward. And scoring! Well, he doesn't get too many with his head, but it was a pinpoint delivery. Ronaldinho scored twice. Barcelona regain the lead.
Well, that was easy. It looked like it came from a training ground. Pass down the line. A nicely awaited cross. Just inviting for Ronaldinho. It's great play down this left-hand side, and when the ball comes in, look at the run from Ronaldinho. He just ghosts in between the defence. Very difficult to pick up, and from there, he's not going to miss. He's got the whole goal to aim at, and he heads it down the way, back across the goalkeeper. Perfect technique.
So Barcelona back ahead. Ronaldinho having never previously scored against Scottish opposition, now on a hat-trick, although he's probably only got 4.5 minutes in which to complete it. You would imagine he will be pulled off at half-time.
But that is the difficulty, Jim, picking him up. He's playing left-hand side, but he just ghosted in there from a central position, and that's what he does really well. He's clever. He sat inside, he waited till the opportunity arose, and when it came, there was no missing it for him.
Defended by Silvinho, who supplied that Expert delivery from the left flank for the goal. Now Toure, Zambrotta. Toure. Xavi. Zambrotta, good run forward, and another good challenge from Lee Wallace, who's had an excellent first 40 minutes. Kisnevicius has shown some nice touches on his Hearts debut, the trialist. Stewart's continued his run.
Oh, you can see now, Barcelona just stroking it around, quite content to see this through to half-time. But it has been in those areas in between the full-backs and the centre-halves that they have exploited. The bad news is it's going to get worse in the second half with Thierry Henry. He'll be right in there.
Esquerro, Ronaldinho, Santi Esquerro, and Wallace is there with the block. Barcelona ball. Ronaldinho and Barcelona heading in the right direction, it seems, after 4 minutes here at Murrayfield.
I think for Hearts, it's a case of trying to remain positive in the second half. And they do come into possession, try and play themselves, but of course try and stay organised as well and take as much out of this game as they possibly can, not just as a result, but also from confidence as well.
Olivier. Just a minute of time to be added on at the end of this first half. Hearts back on the back foot again during stoppage time. Esquerra. Pushed by Ronaldinho on Karapidis. His afternoon's work is almost done, and he's got the goals to give Hearts Barcelona, a solid foundation. Rijkaard's men certainly played with a greater freedom today than they did at Tannadice on Thursday. 45 minutes high on entertainment and high on goals as well. Michaela with an equaliser for Hearts, but Ronaldinho giving Barcelona a 2-1 lead at half-time.
So 2-1, Barcelona at the break, and we'll be reviewing the first half when we come back on Setanta Sports.
When I think of all the good times that I've wasted, having good times. When I think of all the good time that's been wasted, having good times. Good times. Good times. I said good times.
Make your meat meaty-licious with Coleman's squeezable English mustard!
If you've been refused credit elsewhere, nobody tries harder than Welcome Car Finance to get you a newer car. Every year we approve thousands of people for car credit. Many of our top-name cars are under 2 years old and all come with an independent quality and safety check and full MOT. Call Welcome Car Finance now and we'll give you at least £1,000 for your old car, plus £250 cash back. Call Welcome Car Finance now on 0800 040 9000 or visit our website.
Anything is accessible. The Jeep Grand Cherokee with a smooth V6 diesel and Quadra Drive 2. It grips off the road and performs on the road from 26,590 pounds. Jeep Grand Cherokee, a legend off-road, affordable on-road.
With Tuxedo's Blue Diamond card, everyone is welcome. Activate instantly, top up and use in millions of locations worldwide. Go shopping, use online and withdraw cash from ATMs. Give a card to family and friends here or overseas, even use to receive your wages. Everything is provided when you get your pay-as-you-go pack, including your prepaid Maestro card. Call free 0800 915 2000 to get yours now. That's 0800 915 2000 or go online.
Please give £2 a month to fund more research and help more people survive cancer.
A poor credit history can follow you around. Unfortunate decisions and plain bad luck can stay with you for years. And when you need financial help, your record is always there to count against you. But there is a company who specialize in secured loans and remortgages for people like you. Call Zero Loans and speak to experienced staff who'll find a solution that suits you. And because we deal directly with the lender, we can usually give you an answer straight away.
Well, thanks very much for your help.
Call Zero Loans now on 08000 43 23 43.
You wanted more? You got more.
The All-Ireland Hurling Championship on Setanta Sports tonight. Setanta Sports 2 at 6:30 for Wexford against Tipperary and Kilkenny versus Galway. And tomorrow afternoon, Sky Digital Channel 436 for Limerick versus Clare and Waterford against Cork. On the football-friendly front, Sunderland are in Ireland to play Bohemians, and that tonight at 7:40 Setanta Sports 1. And tomorrow afternoon, Newcastle victors by 4-1 against Celtic on Thursday night play Juventus 2:45 Setanta Sports 1. Well, what a noise at Murrayfield, what an atmosphere. 58,000 here for Hearts against Barcelona, and Gary Mackay, the Hearts legend, alongside me. And it took your old team a long time to get near the ball, didn't it?
Yes, couldn't get a touch. That was just showed the quality of this Barcelona side. They got in front, and then Hearts responded quite well, but they're just chasing the game all over the pitch. It'll do wonders for their fitness, but not getting a lot of touches of the football.
We were sitting next to the technical area, and Hearts weren't too chuffed at all with the award of the penalty, but I don't really think, looking at the reruns of this, you could have too much complaint.
No, the trialist got the wrong side, his Ambrota, and it was a stonewall penalty for me. Absolutely no doubt. You can see there, he just allows them to get goal side. As soon as you do that, clumsy challenge, stonewall penalty kick, and as soon as the ball's placed in the spot, you know what's coming.
And there was a lot of noise, wasn't there, to try to put him off?
Yes, but then he got a lovely acclaim when he did put the ball in the back of the net. His performance has just been wonderful to watch, a masterclass from a wonderful football player.
What was great for Hearts was that they responded so quickly and so well. From corner kick, Christophe Berra got the knockdown, and Juho Michela will be telling his grandchildren how he scored against Barcelona.
Yes, great first touch when it comes down to Michela. Takes out his left foot and then just knocks it past the goalkeeper very nicely and very comfortably with his right foot. But good quality into the back post. Berra was more aggressive in the opposing penalty area, and he probably has been in the Hearts area. He's had a difficult time against Eto'o, but he does well there, and it's a lovely finish.
Barcelona are ahead at half-time, courtesy of Ronaldinho's second goal of the game, and this underlines how difficult it's been for Hearts to get close to the Barcelona players. Look at Silvinho making the run, lots of time to pick out his man.
Pass, move, and as soon as it comes into the box, speaking about players that have got great technical ability on the ground, but as well as that, you get a finish there with the head this time. Wonderful finish, a great quality cross into the box, and when it comes into the area, you're only looking at Ronaldinho. Escaped his marker, wonderful header, gets Craig Gordon wrong-footed, and I seen him looking at the dugout, and I think he knows his head's not his strongest point, but it's a wonderful finish.
The going's been tough enough for Hearts then in the first half here at Murrayfield, and the going could get even tougher because Thierry Henry lies in wait. We'll see him in the second half. Hearts against Barcelona, it's coming your way.
Hi, Picture. I was calling about a loan. Yes, we do have a mortgage.
Mum, where's my scooter?
Try the garage.
If you've credit cards and loans in different places, call Picture on 0800 064 4500. You could rearrange your credit into one easy, affordable loan so you can keep track of your money.
Tess, where I'm on the phone to Picture. Don't worry, it's always like this here, but at least I can get my credit sorted. We'd like to borrow £25,000.
Mum, I can't find my trainers.
Under the bed. How much a month would that be? Really? Well, that's a lot less than we're paying now. So what do I need to do?
My scooter's not in the garage.
So that's all there is to it. Great. Josh, Dad's found your scooter.
Call Picture Loans on 0800 064 4500 today, because it's nice to know where everything is.
That was great.
Aussie rules.
That's spectacular.
You bet it does.
Fantastic. It was bang, spot on. Sensational.
More stunning AFL action tomorrow morning on Satana Sports 2.
What if taste buds could talk? What if those 10,000 precise pleasure measures could actually tell you what they were thinking? Next time you're savouring a Guinness, listen. You'll hear them say, "Ah, now you're talking." Guinness. Taste matters.
It's the start of a new era for Newcastle, and Setanta Sports has exclusive live coverage of their pre-season build-up from St James's Park. Newcastle v Juventus, Sunday 2:55, Setanta Sports 1.
Next weekend in Scottish football, it's the real thing. The start of the Clydesdale Bank Premier League campaign, and we've 3 live matches for you across the long weekend. Rangers open up with their new look team up at Inverness. That's on Saturday lunchtime. Join us from 11:30. Then on Sunday, Celtic open their defence of the title at home to Kilmarnock from 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon. And then on the Monday evening, we're back in the capital for the first Edinburgh derby of the season, and that's at Tynecastle. The following weekend is the start of our Barclays Premier League coverage. 46 live games coming your way. We start at Villa Park, Aston Villa versus Liverpool from 4:30. Here's how you subscribe. If you haven't done so already, press the red button on your remote, log on to setanta.com, or telephone that number 08712 003222 for exclusively live coverage of 46 Barclays Premier League games, 60 live matches from the Clydesdale Bank Premier League, all for £9.99 per month. Here at Murrayfield, it is Hearts 1, Barcelona 2. Gary Mackay is with me. What are the Tynecastle team going to do about it in the second half?
I think what they have to do is give as many of the players a bit of the game as they can, because they want to test their cell. I mean, Michaelinas is one that you can introduce to the action and maybe go a straight 4-4-2, because I think it's difficult for Velička playing that lone role up the front as a lone striker. He's having to do so much work. He needs to have somebody next to him. Maybe put Michaelinas on, take the trialist off. I think the trialist only arrived on Friday morning, showing it to the team against Barcelona. How do the lads feel that have done a hard pre-season, wanting to play today, and they're left out for a guy that just comes into one training session? I don't think I would have taken too kindly to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been tough already, and it's going to get tougher. Thierry Henry will make an appearance in the second half. We hear Deco's coming on as well. These are all household names.
Yes, I mean, it's a fitness exercise for them as well, but the way they pass and move the ball, the Hearts players will get something from it, because it'll make them realise the standard they'll have to try and attain if they're going to continue as top professionals.
What do you like most about watching Barcelona play, Gary?
I think the whole lot, I mean, the movement, how they can calm it down, and then when they get to the last third, I mean, Ronaldinho, he picks the ball up midfield, as soon as he plays a pass, he's moving again, and he's so helpful. Every time somebody's on the ball, he's always looking for it. Doesn't matter where the ball is, always looking to get on it. That's all you can ask from a teammate.
Would you like to see more from Kingston and Stewart in that central midfield area for Hearts, or is that easier said than done?
Well, I think Michael Stewart has shown a really good appetite for the football match. You know, I think that was maybe something that was missing when he came to Hearts for his first spell, but he looks like he's really up for it, and hopefully he can continue in that vein during the season.
Is this match what Hearts would have ideally wanted with that Edinburgh derby, which is live on Setanta next weekend coming up? Is this the right sort of build-up match-wise towards that?
If it ends up 2-2, it'll be the match that I wanted. If it ends up 6-1, I'm not sure it would have been. But you have to try and take as many positives as you can. They did respond well to going 1-0 down. I think young Lee Wallace has acquitted himself very well at left back. He's playing against him. He's playing behind rather a trialist that he's only met 24 hours before this game. I think he's done very well, young Lee.
And if you're wondering what this is all about, well, it's a very poignant moment at Murrayfield, because the singing of Hey Jude, which is a Hearts theme tune, and the twirling of the scarves is all about a tribute to 2-year-old Rory Cochrane, who died recently in tragic circumstances. His dad is a season ticket holder with Hearts, and tragic times for the family and friends, and this is all about Hearts sending out their message of condolence. Barcelona are back with us, back on the pitch here at Murrayfield in front of 58,000. It's Hearts' biggest ever home turnout. Lots of changes expected in both teams in the course of the second half, and I know Scott and Jim are just looking forward to telling you all about them.
Yeah, that's the delight of pre-season friendlies. 13 half-time changes, a commentator's dream. Thierry Henry and Deco amongst those that are coming on. And Giovanni, who was also in the picture there, an 18-year-old, Scott was mentioning him in the first half, a player who, as the son of former Brazilian international Zizinho, certainly a player with a great pedigree, and we saw him in fits and starts the other night against Dundee United. Hearts also taking the opportunity to rifle through the squad and make a few changes as well. But good news, Thierry Henry scored in every Barcelona game he's played so far.
Yeah, and he almost scored with his first touch against Dundee United. Well, it was his second. He controlled, he turned on a very short area and then just tried to pinpoint a top right-hand corner, near post. It almost came off for him, but straight away he was right involved, and I'm pretty sure it'll be the same in this second half.
Neil McCann amongst the Hearts substitutes on for the second half. Hasn't scored a Hearts goal since back in November 1998. Hasn't scored a goal at all for best part of 3 years now, but he's on amongst many others at the start of this second half for Hearts. Trailing by 2-1. Can they come from behind and pick up a morale-boosting performance and result ahead of the Edinburgh Derby in 9 days' time, back home at Tynecastle? Vaskevicius involved there, another one of the half-time changes. Here's Wallace. Karapidis has taken up a central position in this second half. Robbie Nielsen has come on at right back. Here's Belletti. Xavi. Deco. Torre. Hearts with an opportunity to regain possession. Neil McCann. Hearts have their first corner of the game.
Well, it's been a good start for Hearts in the second half. McCann highly involved. And that you stay that way and try and use his imagination and his passing ability to bring about some chances.
Not a bad ball in. Not the best header. It did take a deflection wide for another corner.
Well, it was Beniusis that almost got in front of the defence there. A proven goal scorer. He's on trial at Hearts. They certainly need someone that can bang in 15-20 a season.
Near post ball in. It's cleared by Uquera. Vaskevicius with a cross, which was a comfortable claim in the end for the Barcelona substitute keeper. Deco. Ball out of play. There's one of the trialists on for the second half. It's Ricardas Beniusis, a Lithuanian striker who has been captain at Kaunas since Kanchelskis joined Hearts. Another one of the imports that Stevie Frail and co are running the roost over. Actually scored for Kaunas against Hearts Ben Eustace in a closed-door game played in Austria earlier this month. Mikkel Yunus. Korobotska, the 7th person to be in charge of Hearts since Romanov was appointed. And still officially only interim head coach, but it's been a long interim. Here's McCann. Ruben Palazuelos, Spaniard, playing against the former Spanish champions.
Yeah, we can see, Jim, that things don't change at Hearts. A number of players coming in who you really don't know the names of. And I'd like to see that this season stop. For a bit more consistency in team selection to come about. And that's the only way they're going to have a chance of staying in the top 3 this season.
Well, they used 38 different players last season in 38 SPL games. And made best part of 180 team changes over the season as a whole, which is getting on for 5 a game.
And that's the problem, you just can't do that and expect to be for the whole season up there. Challenging.
Kirkic is a lovely ball through from the teenage prodigy Thierry Henry, and it's put in for 3-1 by Giovanni.
Oh, I said it. Kirkic, Henry, Giovanni. It's the movement. And that's what made it hard for Dundee United in the second half. In the last match was the movement and the pace and the vision. Look at the vision in that pass, fantastic. Henry, of course, playing on the shoulder. And if you just see, no problem at all. It's a tap in, purely because of the weight of pass. Real vision. Giovanni strolling in. It's Kirkic initially, 16 years old. He finds Henry. Straightforward football. Very similar to the Ronaldinho goal in the first half. Great interchange of play, good passing, and no one could really get near them.
Giovanni, one of the youngsters of which they have such high hopes. Here's Ruben Palazuelos. Karapidas. Palazuelos. Benny Eustace, one of his fellow trialists, had just dropped short that time, wanted the ball into feet, and it was played over the top. Understandable lack of understanding.
But that's what I'm on about for the Hearts fans and the Hearts players. The problem is, if you keep changing your side, and I know this is a pre-season friendly, but I think this is symptomatic of what happened last season as well for Hearts. Change things about too much. A lack of communication, a lack of knowledge of the organisation, and it makes it easier for the opposition. Saying that, the opposition on this occasion is pretty fantastic.
Belletti. Here's Oliger. Xavi. Now Lilian Thuram. Here's Toure. Deco. Kirkic, lovely take, and he's won the corner, and just 16 years of age. He really is one of the players who could well be lighting up world football over the next 6 or 7 years.
Again, it's that pass from midfield, not dissimilar to Ronaldinho in the first half with that dropping deep. Deco this time on the ball. Lovely weighted pass to Kirkic.
Xavi's outswinger. Well, plenty of new faces here at Hearts. Ruben Palazuelos is somebody we're going to be getting used to. He's signed a 4-year deal after buying Gymnastic in Spain out of his contract. He played last season in Greek football on loan at Aris. And he's one of 6 changes that Hearts have made at half-time. His introduction, his confirmation of the current lineup that Hearts have. Abraham Tal just caught in the midfield by Deco. Barcelona making 7 changes at half-time, with only Thuram, Oleguer, Xavi and Touré staying on from the players that started. Palazuelos. Nielsen. Belletti. Abidal, one of Barcelona's new faces after his £10 million move from Lyon. Henry, the best known of the new boys. Xavi trying to make his way through. That's well played by Mikel Yunus. Benitez.
Well, it already has the look of a long afternoon for the new Hearts side in the second half. Finding it very difficult to get the ball off of Barcelona.
Kirkic. He's done brilliantly to keep it in. Too good for Lee Wallace. Free kick.
We certainly haven't seen as many 16-year-olds who look as comfortable on the ball as Kirkic. Great feet. Little nutmeg on Lee Wallace.
Xavi with the captain's armband in the second half. His delivery easily cleared. Thuram. It's comfortable for Craig Gordon. Well, Hearts have done their best to dispel Sunderland's overtures for Craig Gordon, but Aston Villa reportedly interested in making a move for the Scottish number 1. Is McCann. Wallace. Deco. Now space for Thierry Henry. He's got Giovanni in support for him in the centre. Kirkic is making his way forward as well. Deco. The stumble didn't do him any favours at all. Again, making his way forward from the back. Kirkic would in fact have been offside, I think, if he squeezed the ball through to him. Mikel Yunus. And McCann using a little bit too much of the pitch. Hearts poised to make another change, a double change in fact. Michael Pospisil and Callum Elliott, the players who are coming on. Wallace makes way, and I'm sure that he'll be pleased with his contribution, Scott.
Yeah, he's done very well. We all know he is a good fullback, Lee Wallace. He also got down the left-hand side in the first half. and he can be pleased with his performance. It looks a little bit more attacking now from Hearts. Looks like McCann's dropped back into a left back role. It's a 4-4-2 formation, which of course will be a little bit more positive. It'll allow the new striker to have a little bit more support up there in Pospisil.
Abidal wins the free kick. Deco. Pospisil doing his best to win it back. Giovanni, the goal scorer from this second half. Belletti. Man who broke Arsenal hearts, you'll remember, with the winner in the Champions League final. Giovanni. And comfortable in the end for Craig Gordon. Robbie Nielsen. Pospisil guided down nicely. Touré's challenge looks suspicious. There's a lovely ball through though for Thierry Henry. He's got goal side until a fantastic saving challenge denies him the opportunity to make it 4-1.
Well, this is a perfect pass from Touré. I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks' time, Thierry Henry will be past the defence on that occasion. This time he's just slightly lacking match fitness, match sharpness.
Deco doing a bit of damage. He wanted to do some damage inside the penalty area, but it's a striker Ben Eustace who can clear. Away by Nielsen. Xavi, who's been with Barcelona since he was 11 years old, now 27, more than 350 games for the club behind him. Abidal, yet to make his senior debut, of course, as is this man, Yaya Touré. Younger brother of Arsenal's Kolo Touré. Belletti makes his way forward. And Kirkic flagged offside, although that's academic in the end. The play will be allowed to continue. Palazuelos. Pospisil. Nice touch for Ben Eustace, but a nice touch from the trialist.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Frank Rijkaard will be a lot happier with this performance than the one against United, because for me, it's pretty awesome really. Within 2 days, 3 days, the difference in the passing from Barcelona.
Deco for Giovanni, Henry in space, couldn't be found. And McCann with good positional awareness, the left back, jumping into a central position, Palazuelos. Mikel Yunus, Palazuelos again. McCann. Callum Elliott. Ivaskevicius wide for Nielsen. Well, Giovanni showing that he has a defensive side to his game as well, but he can't stop Nielsen getting the ball in. Palazuelos now for Hearts.
That was nice play from Palazuelos. He has shown some good touches since coming on. Decent first touch, it sits up, he just can't get enough on it.
Xavi. Thierry Henry running the channels. Kirkic waits for the through ball, but Karapidis could clear. Balletti rides the challenge of Callum Elliott and continues his run himself. Kirkic, fantastic play. What a shame that there was no end product, but he may be 16. He's learned a bit from Ronaldinho and co already, hasn't he?
I think they're learning a little bit from him too. Picks the ball up. I think he's going to go left with the pass, but he doesn't. He goes across. And again, another little nutmeg on Lee Wallace. The end result wasn't the best, but all-round play is fantastic for a 16-year-old.
Well, Barcelona make the same change that they made the other night. It's Touré who comes off, and Thiago Motta who will come on into the defensive midfield position. Motta, the Brazilian international. And that's the 8th change that Barca have made.
I get the feeling that Hearts would like it to remain this scoreline, because after all, it's all about the Hibs match, and of course after that they have Aberdeen away in the SPL, so the first 2 matches they will have to be right up for it, and it is important to get a good start.
And then after Gretna come to Tynecastle, it's a trip to Celtic Park, so not the easiest opening quartet of games for Roboczka and Hearts.
It's a last chance for these players to stake a claim to start against Hibs.
Henry did well to work the angle.
Oh, it just seems now that every time Barcelona go forward in attack, they have to nutmeg somebody on the way.
Pospisil. Even the 35-year-old centre-halves are throwing the tricks in now.
I think what you have to delight at is the movement of the Barcelona players, accuracy of their passing, and their ability to take the sting out of the game when they need to, like this, play the ball about and be patient and get their head up and able to see the longer pass or the 1-2 when it's on. All players very comfortable with both feet, left or right. Of course, if you add to that some strength and experience, then of course it makes for a top-class side.
Vaskevicius. And confirmation of what we expected, a record crowd for a Hearts game that is a home fixture. 57,857 here at Murrayfield today, and that beats the previous best by some 4,500, a record that has stood for 75 years. At the moment, the ensemble throng. Now seeing Hearts on the wrong end of a 3-1 scoreline there.
And what it does, possibilities that a club like Hearts have, support to call on. Certainly are a giant in the making.
And it's Zalewskis who's going to come off this time for Egan Jonsson. The young Icelander signed by John Robertson. Will be a straight swap at centre-half. Egan Jonsson taking Zalewskis' place. More pitch time for the 18-year-old who made his debut in Icelandic football when he was only 15. Yet to start a game for Hearts.
I think that's one of the areas where Hearts have been consistent in. That's where Zaliukas and Berra are concerned, and obviously Craig Gordon in behind them. Pretty sure that will be in the starting lineup against Hibs, and maybe I think Kingston and Stewart have played their way into a place there too. Berra, of course, will be suspended for that initial game against Hibs. So that may mean a chance for Karapidis in there. Ortal.
Here's Deco. Kirkic onside this time. McCann not committing himself. It's a lovely reverse ball and Henry's missed the target. Another 24-carat move from Barcelona.
Oh, it's just a joy to watch. It's not offside. It's again, it's that defence-splitting pass. Kirkic, he gets in the area, looks up, he holds the defender off, and look at this wee touch. Unbelievable. The movement, of course, from Henry, but he's waiting. Outside the right foot, right through. Cuts the defence right open, and you do expect more from Henry.
Another example, though, of the fantastic awareness that Kirkic has. Ivaskevicius. Palazuelos with awareness of what was around him. Nielsen. Callum Elliott. Henry. Valletta was the intended recipient of that ball, but Neil McCann saw it coming from a long way off. Here's Pospisil. Henry. Giovanni. Kirkic sets his sights himself, but Craig Gordon able to make another comfortable save.
Well, for me, out of all the big names that we've seen in the two matches, Kirkic is certainly one of the best. He's been right up there with Ronaldinho.
In towards Pospisil, but straight down the throat of Yukera.
I think the worry for Hearts, looking forward to the Hibs match, of course, Bednar, Pinilla, Aguiar, Berra, of course, as you mentioned, suspended. Kanchelskis and Driver maybe not fit. Gonçalves is also the same. Of course, Kingston goes for an appeal as well. There's a lot of players there that may not take part in that opening match. Just as well, they have a squad of about 45, 50 players.
And Craig Gordon could be coming off in a moment as well. I just wonder whether that is going to be his Hearts swan song. The fact that they're going to give Steve Banks best part of 20 minutes, I don't know whether there is anything significant that we can read into that at all.
Well, that's the problem with Hearts, Jim, you never know. It could just be giving him some time on the pitch.
Yukera. Kirkic. So Mark Rosas there, who's going to be coming on for Barcelona as well. 19-year-old midfielder who has been linked with a move to Liverpool in the past. And he'll replace Lilian Thuram, the old man in this Barcelona side. very generous round of applause for the former World Cup winner Lilian Thuram. Rosas, 16 years his junior, does have first team experience, having played in the Copa del Rey last season. And that means that Thiago Motta's just dropped back in at centre half. Fred Rijkaard sharing a laugh and a joke with Thuram. He's grateful with all these prodigies in his side that he's got someone from his generation that he can relate to, probably. There's Kirkic, another lovely touch. He's done well to keep it in. Low-end product from the 16-year-old this time. Palazuelos. Pospisil. Elliott. Hands ball in. Palazuelos gives Henry a second opportunity to find a teammate, which he does. Here's Kirkic. His father is on the scouting staff at Barcelona. Kirkic, he was a player himself, played for Red Star Belgrade for many years, so he comes from a great footballing heritage. Now, will this be Craig Gordon's last moment in a Hearts shirt? He makes way, being replaced by Steve Banks, takes the captain's armband off. And the Englishman comes on to replace Craig Gordon. 9 days before the big kick-off at the SPL. I just wonder whether Gordon will be a Hearts player when they take the field at Tynecastle against Hibs a week on Monday.
Well, I think maybe even he doesn't know at the moment. Didn't look too emotional there, so that could be good signs for Hearts fans.
Balletti, challenged by Callum Elliott. He's been playing in a wider position on the left-hand side predominantly since coming on. There's a firm challenge by Elliott on Marc Rosas, which has the teenager writhing in pain. Welcome to Edinburgh, just moments after coming on. It has been a mouth-watering occasion so far. Ronaldinho with a penalty which was cancelled out. 3 minutes later, Juho Michaela will always remember that particular moment. Silvinho's cross converted by Ronaldinho gave Barcelona a 2-1 lead, which became 3 after the break. Kirkic and Thierry Henry combining to find another one of the youngsters, Giovanni. Barcelona 3-1 up and coasting with 13 minutes to go.
I think that is the worry for the rest of the Spanish league, because they've only been back 1 week. Can you imagine what they'll be like after a month? The fitness will be up, the touch will be up. And certainly look to be off to a good start anyway.
Balletti. Giovanni losing out to Elliott. All the way through for Ivaskevicius. Thierry Henry. Abidal. Kirkic over on the left flank for Barcelona now. Motta. Oleguer, who in the context of this game has put in a real shift, still on from the start. Motta. Paletti, the Brazilian defender. Just ran out of room. Well, it's a throw for Hearts, who, of course, as we've been mentioning, are starting their Clydesdale Bank SPL campaign a week on Monday at home to Hibs. And you can see that match and many other Hearts games throughout the season exclusively live right here on Setanta Sports. The opening 2 Hearts games, Hibs at home and Aberdeen away. And they're also in action away at Motherwell and Hibernian between now and early November.
Let me go.
Subscription details there at the bottom of your screen as this game goes into the final 10 minutes.
Well, for Stevie Frail, it's definitely a good learning process, not just to match up against Barcelona with his side, but to see his players against Barcelona and just what they can do.
Becco just didn't get hold of it.
I think that's why he's giving as many players as he can a run out against the greats like Deco and Ronaldinho and Henry. Of course, Korobochka as well, interim manager. He's the old head, but pretty sure he's learning a lot about some of the new players as well that are coming into the Hearts squad.
Xavi, the other Barcelona player who's been on from the start. Abidal, Thierry Henry, and that's a corner conceded by Egert Jonsson.
Yeah, that's been the problem for Hearts the whole game, those channels.
Corner taken short for Kirkic, the ball back in, almost finding Giovanni. Elliott for McCann. Jonsson. Henry. What a shame. Another fantastic move, and the youngster deserves a goal. It would be his first in a Barcelona shirt, and he wasn't too far away from beating Steve Banks.
Yeah, and this has been the main difficulty as well. Playing 3 up front, the players in the wide areas coming inside. You see Henry on the ball, he threads it through. Kirkic's great timed run, it's not offside. He's just got to try and get over it a little bit more. But they begin wide apart and then they come in and they make it difficult to track, difficult to pick up. If the finishing had been better, then it could have been by quite a way that they'd beaten Hearts today. But I'm pretty sure that Barcelona will be happy in front Rijkaard with the standard that they've played against in both Dundee United and Hearts. It's not been easy for them. Certainly today you've seen top-class players in action. Certainly on the Barcelona side, great football players to watch, and I think that Frank Rijkaard will be happy all in all with his first 2 matches.
They don't get the Spanish League campaign off and underway for another 4 weeks yet. Racing Santander, the side have drawn the short straw for facing them first. It is a game that will be played on the coast, and then Bilbao at home in week 2 for Barcelona. Pre-season tour continues in the Far East after this. They're off to China and take on Beijing. Here's Pospisil. Johnson put under pressure from Thierry Henry, and very grateful to hear the blow of the referee's whistle. And here is change number 20. That is teenager Ryan McGowan, who is going to come on. And Christos Karapidis, the player that makes way. Some moment this for Ryan McGowan. 6 minutes against Barcelona.
Yeah, well, it's not often you get the chance. I'm sure he'll grab it with both hands. He's going to just slot in there, on the left side of central defence.
And that's Hearts' 11th and final change. Pospisil with a layoff. Dougie McDonald hasn't had to reach for the book once yet. Deco went in the book the other night. It was a frantic last 15-20 minutes at Tannadice, where the slippy surface, the 0-0 scoreline made for some appetising challenges in the closing stages. Deco ending up getting a yellow card for kicking the ball away. I haven't seen any signs of dissent from either team here at Murrayfield. Kirkic, well read by McGowan. Ivaskevicius, Mikkel Yunus. Motta. Calm defending between Motta and Abidal. Henry makes his way forward. Blocked out by Johnson. Elliott. Palazuelos. Mikkel Yunus. Hearts hoping to set up a grandstand finish by pulling one back. Not from that. Another change for Barca, and it's another teenager who's coming on, Dimas, one of the more unheralded members of this squad, coming on to replace the veteran Spaniard international Xavi. His performance has been far from shabby this afternoon, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fantastic player. He looks very sharp for only being back a week.
Huge clearance from Motta. Giovanni. And an instant apology from Neil McCann.
Well, McCann's just beaten by a fantastic touch. Giovanni just sucks him in. Didn't look too nice.
Free in the wall, the delivery's good! That header not quite good enough. You would have expected Thierry Henry to maintain his record of scoring in Barcelona games.
Yeah, it was good movement in the Hearts box. I don't know who's supposed to be picking up Henry, but in the end, no one is. Tell you what, that's a glaring miss from Henry. Perfect chance to get 2-2 for Barcelona.
Ivaskevicius couldn't find Palazuelos. Henry. Foot in from McGowan. Crozas.
You have to say it's been a little bit disjointed from Hearts in the second half, but I suppose that's down to the amount of changes they've made as well. In some ways it's not a bad thing for Stevie Frail and the management to see the players for one last time before they go into the SPL, but you have to say, and it has to be said, that Barcelona are just a class above today.
Motta. Well, if they play to the rules and add on 30 seconds for each substitution that's been in the second half, they might say Wednesday when they put the board up. We'll find out in a few moments how many minutes are going to be added on. Lovely turn. Great play by Mikel Yunus. He's won the free kick. Just the 2 minutes to be added on. Can Hearts get back within one with this late set piece? McGowan coming to meet it. That would have been a wonderful story.
Well, it was a good ball in, and he was the one that attacked it most. Just can't direct it towards goal. There's plenty of power on it.
Mikel Yunus. Olivier. Abidal. Barca happy just to string the passes together, as they've been for much of this second half, but it has been another performance that has made the eyes light up. Almost embarrassed there, laid on with Ben Yusis. It would have been a freakish goal. Kera doing everything he can to make sure this is the last kick of the game. Mikel Yunus. And it is victory for Frank Rijkaard and Barcelona for the second time in less than 48 hours on their Scottish tour. It was a performance that perhaps had that little extra dimension from that they showed at Tannadice. Giovanni, the teenager, amongst the goal scorers. Another impressive performance, but Stevie Frail will be pleased with many aspects of how Hearts showed. And Michaela certainly will remember the goal he scored against Barcelona for years to come. Hearts have been beaten. The full-time score here at Murrayfield. Hearts 1, Barcelona 3.
Different class. That was Barcelona, and it was the Ronaldinho show in the first half, but Hearts quickly got themselves back on level terms. Michaela's strike, but it was Ronaldinho again before half-time with this header, which made it 2-1 after 45 minutes. He enjoyed that, and Giovanni, the Ronaldinho lookalike, enjoyed this. 3-1 winners, Barcelona, and all the after-match reaction is on the way.
What a choice of football today on Setanta. 2:10, Setanta Sports 1 brings you Orlando Pirates against Spurs.
What a start!
And over on Rangers TV, it's the mother of all friendlies, Rangers v Chelsea.
Devastating!
That's followed on 2 by Henry, Ronaldinho and co as Barcelona take on Hearts.
Save!
And back on 1 at 7:40, Sunderland face Bohemians.
Oh, yes!
All coming up today, only on your 8-channel Setanta Sports Pack.
Anything is accessible. The Jeep Grand Cherokee with a smooth V6 diesel and quadra-drive 2. It grips off the road and performs on the road from 26,590 pounds. Jeep Grand Cherokee, a legend off-road, affordable on-road.
To create an extraordinary vodka, impurity must be removed. Clearly purified, clearly Smirnoff.
Everywhere you look these days, there's cost. A car loan here, a credit card there, till it seems you're paying more out than you're getting in. Of course, there are solutions to help. A consolidation loan, a remortgage, or help reducing your repayments, managing your debt, and even getting some of it written off. But where do you start? Well, now you can find all of these answers under one roof at Promise Finance. If you want a straightforward loan, a remortgage, or a solution to your debt, Promise can explain the options, sort out the paperwork, so you're in control. It costs you nothing to find out more, so call Promise Finance free on 0800 093 45 46 or visit them online today.
With Tuxedo's Blue Diamond card, everyone is welcome. Activate instantly, top up and use in millions of locations worldwide. Go shopping, use online and withdraw cash from ATMs. Give a card to family and friends here or overseas, even use to receive your wages. Everything is provided when you get your pay-as-you-go pack, including your prepaid Maestro card. Call free 0800 915 2000 to get yours now. That's 0800 915 2000 or go online.
The PGA Tour on Setanta Sports. Valuable points are available as the race for the FedEx Cup heats up. The Canadian Open with the Royal Bank of Scotland Group continues tonight at 8 on Setanta Sports.
Well, I suppose it was always going to be an exhibition match, and it was a magnificent demonstration of the way football should be played. 3-1 Barcelona here against Hearts at Murrayfield, but I guess the score at the end could have been just about anything had Barcelona wanted to move up through the gears. Gary Mackay's alongside me.
Yes, feisty football, but unfortunately for the Hearts supporters, it all came from the opposition. They were wonderful, their passing, their movement. I don't think their goalkeeper was tested in the second 45, but you have to say Barcelona just a cut above the quality they had on their side, so much better than Hearts had to offer.
Ronaldinho struck twice in the first half. It was 2-1 Barcelona at half-time. This was the penalty with the Hearts trial. That's the only touchdown in Edinburgh yesterday, taking out Zambrotta.
Yes, you see him watching the ball. When it goes wide, you see him watching the ball, loses the runner, and it's a clumsy challenge. The Hearts supporters will be saying because it's Dougie McDonald, it's the ref.